Hey everyone, this is Heidi Gustad from Hands Occupied with another crochet tutorial for you. In this video, we're going to tackle the bean stitch, which is a super fluffy textural stitch that you might not have run into in your crochet before. To work the bean stitch, all you need to do is start with a chain that's a multiple of 2 stitches, but pay attention to your pattern in case they call for something special. To start any row in the bean stitch, or this variation at least, you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. Now what we're going to do is start counting loops. So I feel like the bean stitch, when you just read the written pattern, it kind of seems really overwhelming, but when you see it in this video, it'll be really straightforward. So we've got this first loop. Next, we're going to go into the next stitch, yarn over, draw that loop back through. Now without pulling anything else through, we're going to yarn over. Now we're going to dive back into that same stitch with our hook. Yarn over and pull through, and now there's 1, 2, 3, 4 loops on our hook. Yarn over one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dive into that same stitch one last time, and now there are 6 loops on your hook. To finish the bean stitch, and you're going to want to make sure your loops aren't done too tightly, we're going to yarn over one more time for a 7th loop, but draw that 7th through all 6 of those loops on your hook. Then we'll yarn over once and draw through to secure that whole bundle of stitches. Next, we're ready to go again. So I'm going to just skip one chain and work in the next stitch so you can see them more clearly. So we've got 1 loop on our hook. We're going to dive into the chain we want to work in. Yarn over and pull through for 2 loops, yarn over for 3, dive in, bring 1 loop back for 4, yarn over for 5, dive in one last time, and then we've got our 6 loops. Then, making sure they're not too tight, yarn over and draw that last loop through all 6 loops and secure it with 1 more stitch on top. Now, let's just pretend we're already at the end of the row so I can show you how to work coming back the other way. So let's pretend we're at the end of the row. I'm going to chain 1 and turn our work. So now to know where to work your stitches so the bean stitch lines up in this beautiful almost basket weave texture, take a look at where I'm putting my hook here. So we've got this stitch to the left when we're on the opposite side from our first row. We've got this opening to the left in our work. That's what we're going to aim for to work in. So just like before, we'll do all the yarn overs until we have 6 loops, but the placement matters more when you're working into a bean stitch like this. So yarn over, or excuse me, we have the 1 loop on our hook, then we dive in, hook a 2nd, yarn over for 3, dive in to hook the 4th, yarn over for 5, dive in for 6, and then we pull 1 last loop all the way through, securing at the top. So the numbers to remember for me that help me keep track of the bean stitch are you've already got your first loop on your hook to begin with. So the even numbers 2, 4, and 6, we get those extra loops on our hook when we draw back through the stitch we're working in. And then the even numbered loops you get through your yarn overs. So that's just an easy trick to help making work the bean stitch a cinch. So what I would recommend doing is grabbing your hook and some scrap yarn and just practicing the bean stitch until you get the hang of it, like I did with this little swatch that I made here for this video. It's really easy as long as you keep track of your loops until there are 6 on your hook, and just remember to secure them with that last loop. If you've got ideas for places that the bean stitch would be right at home, let us know in the comments, and that's also a great place to ask questions if you have them. Don't forget to tune in again soon for even more crochet tutorials.